So we are going with displacement of projectile. In this, I have considered an object which is in projectile motion, and the trajectory of the projectile, as we have seen, it is a parabola. In the last class we have seen. In that trajectory, I am considering one point P. So the coordinates of that point P is x comma y, and this point P I am locating with a position vector, okay, r bar. So this position vector, only I am taking it as a displacement from this particular point to this whatever is there, that I am considering it as displacement. Now if I write displacement, means if I write for this position vector, so what do we get? R bar is equals to, so r bar is equals to, what do we get? So it is having two coordinates, right? So in terms of those two coordinates, if I write, so what do we get? Two coordinates are x comma y. So in terms of x comma y, I am writing r bar is equals to x I cap plus y j cap. I have written. Okay. In terms of those two coordinates, I have written. Now, so let me consider this as equation number one. Now what I'm going, I will be taking horizontal separately and vertical separately like previously. So horizontal is, as we know, it is uniform motion. For uniform motion, horizontal if we consider, so what is the distance traveled if it write x is equals to, so what do we write? Velocity along x direction is u x, okay, into velocity along, as we have taken in that v we have taken, no, let me take v only. Now x is equals to vx into t, okay. As horizontal we have considered it as uniform motion. Now so velocity along x axis is what? U cos theta, right? So u cos theta into t is our this x coordinate. What is the displacement or distance traveled along the x direction? Now same way I will write for y also. Before going to write y, I will try to find out what is vy, velocity along the y axis. Okay. So velocity, vertical velocity if we write. So what is the vertical velocity now? So vertical velocity is, so our vertical velocity I will try to find out there. Vertical velocity as vy. So if we write an expression for vy, so what do we get? Vy is equals to, so it's simply the formula u plus at formula. So this if I use, so what do we get? Vy is equals to, so u along y axis is what? U sine theta, and a becomes g, that is minus g, as the object is going up, minus gt we will get. This is vy. Now this velocity we will be using it further. Now so already horizontal displacement we calculated. Now vertical displacement, if I go with vertical displacement, vertical displacement is what? V by, sorry, y. Here x is a horizontal displacement, vertical displacement is y. So y expression if we write same, as y, if we want to calculate, is it is in accelerated motion. Previously also we have done the same. So for accelerated motion, so what do we do? Ut plus half at square formula we will be writing, right? So ut plus half at square. Now, so what is u here? Velocity along y direction. Okay. So u will become u by t plus half at square also we can write. So if I write for u, so already I have shown you in the previous derivation itself, u is what? Uy is nothing but u sin theta, ux is u cos theta. Now if I write that, so what happens to the equation? Now this equation becomes u y is equals to u sin theta into t minus half g t square I am writing. Okay, g value I am substituting here. Now, in this if I substitute, y we got and x we got, x and y I am going to substitute in this. So let me take this as equation number 2. Let me take this as equation number 3. Substituting equation 2 and substituting equation 2 and 3 in equation 1. So if we substitute them in equation 1, what do we get? I will write in the next page so that everything will fit in that. In equation 1, if I substitute. So equation 1 is what? Xi plus yj. Equation 2 is what? U cos theta into t, and equation 3 is u sin theta into t minus half gt square. This I will use it in the next equation. No. So r bar is equals to, what do we get? R bar is equals to u cos theta into I cap, u cos theta t into I cap I will get, and next plus u sin theta into t minus half gt square into j cap we will be getting, right? So that is R bar is equals to u cos theta into t into I cap, next plus u sin theta minus half g t square minus half gt square into j cap, right? So this is our displacement. Now this I am simplifying a little bit. So this if we write only magnitude part, if we write, what do we do? Magnitude part means, so only magnitude when we are writing I cap coefficient square plus j cap coefficient square we will be writing, that we have seen in resolution of vectors. So what we got, xi plus yj, if we have r bar is equals to, so what we have written, r is equals to square root of x square plus y square, we have written magnitude. The same thing I am following here, u cos theta whole square plus u cos theta whole square plus y component is what? Sorry, here u cos theta into t is there, the t also have to write. Next u sin theta minus half g t square. For this y term also I have to write square. Okay, now if I simplify this, square root of, so u square cos square theta into t square, next here, oh, I missed one t here, just a minute, ut plus half a t square, no, here one t is missing. Let me go back and check there I have written t or not. So here also, here it is there, u sin theta into t, right? That t I missed in the next step. Now, so if I write this, u square sin square theta into t square, a square term, and b square term is half means half square is 1 by 4, okay, g square t power 4, right? Next 2ab term is minus 2 into half, 2 will cancel out, minus 2 into u sin theta into t, u sin theta into t into half g t square. This 2's will cancel out, okay? This square root I am filling now. So what else will be getting? U square t square, if I take out common, cos square theta plus sin square theta will be there. That term will be 1. U square t square will be getting here out of these two terms. Okay. Next term is 1 by 4 g square t power 4 is there. And the last term is, what is there? Minus u sin theta into gt square, u sin theta into t into gt square is there, right? U sin theta into t into g t square is left out, right? So this is what we have, magnitude of a resultant vector, right? Now, so still if I take out ut out of all this, okay, ut if I take out common from this, what we'll get here, u square t square is there, so ut will come out. So only one ut if I take out common, and it will come out, let me write one more term here better. So ut, I have taken one ut common, plus 1 by 4 g square t square by u. Just a minute. One small mistake I will correct here. I want to take u square t square only common so that it will come out of root easily. So next, so what will be left out? U square t square, if I take out common, 1 will be left out, and here 1 by 4 g square t square by u square I will be getting. If I multiply this again, I'll get back to the same step. Next here, one u is there, so what two u's I am bringing out, so one u will come down. So sine theta, this t square also came out, into gt by u. One u is came out means one more u will come into denominator, right? Now, so that is all about what is there inside the root if I take out u square and t square common, right? Now, next what we are going with, next one, if I take out this u square out of the root, so what do we get? So ut will come out, okay, ut into 1 plus g square t square, g square t square by 4 u square will be left out, g square t square by 4 u square minus gt by u into sine theta. This is what left out inside the root. This I will keep this inside the root, right? So this is our magnitude of displacement, magnitude of displacement of the projectile motion. Still we can solve further also, okay, if we want we can solve further, and we can write an expression for the phi which we are having over here, phi in the given equation and the given diagram. I will go back to that once. So what we had here in the diagram here, see, so angle with which the projectile is moving, angle with which the horizontal the projectile is moving is theta. Okay, theta already we found in the last lesson. So, and this phi is what? The angle with which the displacement line is making with respect to the horizontal. This phi also we can find. So it is extra information only. So phi is equals to, if we find tan inverse of, we will get this direct expression I am writing over here. Phi, if we write an expression for phi, so tan inverse of y by x we will write. Phi is equals to general tan inverse of y by x we will write it, because from the diagram I'll show you this in a second. So from here, phi is equals to, if we write tan inverse means tan phi, if I write what we will get, this vertical component by horizontal component, okay, opposite side by adjacent side is tan phi, and phi is equals to, if I write tan inverse of directly y by x I am writing, that is what I have written here. Okay. Now y component, x component we just solved just now in the previous step itself. Okay. So what we have in that, y is what just now we have done, no? Y is equals to 2 sine theta ut sine theta, ut sine theta minus half gt square we got for y, and x is ut cos theta, ut cos theta. This is what our tan inverse of the function. This is our phi. Still we can solve it further also. Tan inverse of 2u sin theta, 2u sin theta minus gt by 2u cos theta we can get. This I have done, this LCM I have done, 2 will come here and this denominator 2 will be coming here, and t I have taken common. I will be ending up with this step. This is a angle made by the position vector or displacement vector to the horizontal. This is a direction of the displacement we can say. Okay, whenever we are finding angle means it is nothing but direction. And one more thing what we found here, displacement in terms of all the coordinates which we have, in terms of that also we have found displacement, magnitude of the displacement also we have written, right? So this is about displacement of the projectile, right? Displacement of the projectile we have done here now. So we will next we will go with the time of flight in the next part, right? So in this what we are having, a projectile is moving in this parabolic path from this particular point O it is started and it is landed over here, suppose, right? Now in its complete journey, how much time it is in air, the time in it, the time the projectile completely in it is in air is called time of flight. Okay, so how much time the projectile is in air, that time we call it as the time of flight. And one more thing we can consider, so it will reach some point, maximum point somewhere here. Now this particular point to maximum point, whatever time it is taken, time of ascent we take. Okay, if I take it as a T1 or TA, time of ascent, and remaining time from this maximum point to ground, if it is coming, so that we will take it as a time of descent. Okay, T1 and T2. Now time of flight, if we write time of flight, we will write it as a T is equals to, so what we can write, T is equals to T1 plus T2 we will be writing. Capital T is equals to, we will write it as a T1 plus T2. Total time, which is the projectile which is in air, we consider it as time of ascent plus time of descent we will be writing. Now, so if we go with the for upward, vertical upward motion only I am considering, horizontal I am not going to consider because it is in air only. So upward motion only I will take it. Now, so for vertical upward motion up to this point I will take, at this point I will be considering. At that point, what happens here, it is reaching maximum, so its final velocity becomes 0 here. So v value becomes 0 here, because why v value is 0, if it is not, if it is having velocity over here, it is there is a chance of moving further high. So as velocity is becoming 0, that's the reason it is coming downwards. Okay, now so at that particular point I will calculate time. So based on that we will be getting time of ascent. Now, so for that if we write, so the same v equals to u plus at formula only I am writing for upward motion. For upward motion, now, so what we get, the general formula is v equals to u plus at formula I am using. Now in that, what is the final velocity, v is equals to 0. So what is initial velocity, upward u sine theta, so that we know already. So vertical velocity is u sine theta. Next, minus gt, a becomes g minus g when it is going up, right? Now from here if we write gt is equals to this gt minus gt, if I bring left side plus gt, gt is equals to u sine theta I will be getting. Now t is equals to what we get, u sine theta by g we will be getting. Okay, that is what time, how much it is there. Okay, t1 or t I am considering. So and how much time it takes to move up, the same time it will take to come down also. So time of ascent will be equal to time of descent. Now if we want to write time of flight, to means time of flight, if we write, what we have, t1 plus t2, that is the time of ascent plus time of descent. Better I will take, instead of t1 and t2 I will take time of ascent and time of descent, ta and td I will take, so that it will be easy for us, right? So ta and td I am taking now. So if we write, if we want to write time of flight, time of flight, time of flight, capital T is equals to, so what do we get, TA plus TD. TA and TD are equal. So u sine theta by G plus u sine theta by G. Time of ascent plus time of descent will give us a total time, right? So now what we will get, 2u sine theta by G is our time of flight. So how much time the projectile is in air means 2u sine theta by G. It depends on how much angle we are projecting and what is its initial velocity and acceleration due to gravity. Anyhow, it is fixed at one particular place, right? So this is about our time of flight. Now we have a little more further in this. We will go in little further details of this. Then we will continue. Now, so time of flight, generally we can, this we can also be expressed in terms of u sine theta is nothing but our velocity along vertical component only, no? So we can write it as 2uy by g also we can write. Okay, so this is the time of flight can also be represented in terms of only vertical velocity, right? And suppose if the angle of projection, if the angle of projection, if we take it as a we will consider theta and 90 minus theta as complementary angles. So if we take for complementary angles, what happens for complementary angles if I consider? So that means theta and 90 minus theta are complementary angles. So theta and 90 minus theta are complementary angles. For complementary angles, if I write time of flight, so what happens to the time of flight? So generally, whatever for theta is there, that is what u 2u sine theta by g we got. This I am considering it as t1. Now for t2, if I write 2u sine 90 minus theta by g I am writing, okay, for complementary angle. Now what happens to this 90 minus theta? Sine 90 minus theta is what? Cos theta. So 2u cos theta by g. Now for complementary angles, if I write time of flight, ratio of time of flight, so what do we get? T1 by T2 is equals to, so what we got, this is 2u sine theta by g by 2u cos theta by g we got, right? So this g will cancel out, 2u will cancel out. So what we got finally, T1 by T2 is equals to, we got tan theta, right? So this is for complementary angles. When we are considering, the ratio of time of flights will be equal to tan of the angle, right? So this is important in case of problematic pattern. Now if we multiply these complementary angles time of flights, what do we get? We will check that also once. T1 into T2 if I do, so what we got, T1 is 2u sine theta by g, right? Next, this is a 2u cos theta by g we got, right? So if we multiply both of them, what do we get? Let me write 2u square into 2 sine theta cos theta by g I am writing for convenience by g square, sorry. Now in this, what we have is 2u sin 2 sin theta cos theta, this 2u square by g I am writing separately, okay, and 2 sin theta cos theta is what? Sin 2 theta formula will be there as per trigonometry, by g will be there. Now this will come in the next derivation part, u square sin 2 theta by g, we will consider as r. So 2 r by g we will get when we multiply this time of flights. Okay. So this r, how I am writing r means you have to wait till we go with the next topic. Okay. So that r, what is this r? How we are going to derive it? So we will see that in the next topic. Our next topic will be there, range, horizontal range. There we will be studying, right? So that is complete. This information is more than enough. Time of flights. Okay. So we have calculated time of flight and ratio of complementary angles of time of flights I have taken. Multiplication of complementary angles for time of flights I have done. This is what we got. Okay. So that is complete information about time of flight. So there is an army tank. So from there, they are throwing some bomb out into some particular location. So when they are throwing, they should know that how much distance it can travel. So this horizontal distance traveled by the bomb, we consider it as a horizontal range. Okay. So the bomb motion here, it is also projectile motion. That's the reason we are going with this example. Now we will come back to our horizontal range derivation part. So for that, I will take this diagram now in this. So you could see in the diagram, so what we have there, so projectile motion as usual. So the projectile, when the object is in, when the projectile is in motion, so its initial velocity is u. So it is the velocity vector is making an angle theta with this. So as usual, we will be having horizontal component as u cos theta, vertical component as u sin theta. Now horizontal range is what? From the point where it is projected to the point where it is landed. Okay. So the distance between these 2 points, we are calling it as horizontal range. Okay. How much distance it can travel, that is we are calling it as horizontal range. Now in the horizontal range, what we do? So simply horizontal range is equals to r is equals to, so what we will write, a horizontal range r is equals to, we will take it as r is equals to u cos theta into t we will write. This is our horizontal range. right? So u cos theta into t. Here this t value we will be substituting from the previous expression. U cos theta into t we got 2u sin theta by g we got, right? 2u sin theta by g. Now this if we solve, u square sin theta cos theta, sorry, sin 2 sin theta cos theta by g we will be getting. So that means u square sin 2 theta by g is our horizontal range.